Please, can you tell us your name? Can we meet you generally? Your name, you can tell us even other things. Just help us to introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Esther Simon Bassi.
Okay.
Dentist right now. I just graduated a few months ago, really. I'm
Okay.
from First Basket, Calabar South to be exact. And I live in Cross River. I live in Calabar too. Yeah. So that's basically me. Yeah.
Okay. So, uh, okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the introduction. We really appreciate you. So please, let's start from the time management aspect. Please, how do you manage your time?
Okay, how do I manage my time? Okay, well, I think the first thing we need to realize is that there are, different phases of our lives, there are different
Okay.
seasons. And so when we are in university, we are in a phase of our lives, and at that point, that is about the most important thing in our lives. Yeah, there are many other important things, but like people say, when you go to school, you're there to go to school and you're there to graduate. That's really why your parents sent you to school, to go and read, really, and come out. So at that time, that is one of the most important things. So it doesn't mean that you're going to just focus on school and academics. That is not also a wise thing to do. So there are other things you should also do, but you should always remember that this is the primary reason why you're here. So for me, time management, well, I just, set my priorities, and I know, okay, at this time, this is what I should be doing. So for most of the days of the week, we know that, okay, maybe from 8 till say 4, we are most likely going to be in school, in classes, cleaning postings, and then classes after. And so okay, most of the daytime you're going to be spending it in school. So okay, for me, I stayed at home. So I didn't stay in the hostel throughout my medical. I stayed at home. So
Wow.
because of that, yeah, time management was really important because obviously since I'm at home, I would have other things I needed to do. So I'll need to cook, I need to wash, I need to do other things. So when I come back, I'll know that okay, these are the things I have to do. And so for me, I prefer that night really because during daytime, especially when I come back from school, everybody's still awake and you can be reading and maybe your mother will call you to do something and all that. So I just preferred to read at night when every other person was sleeping. So I know that there were distractions and everything. So most of the time, what I would do is I'll get home, freshen up, do the things I have to do, and I'll try to sleep on time so that I can wake up later and do the reading I have to do. So basically, that was it for me. Even though there were still things that distracted me, really. And a lot of times we don't realize it, or our phones can be a real distraction. We don't even realize how time goes when
Yeah.
we're on. Yeah. And so a lot of times you just be going through WhatsApp, and before you realize it, you wasted 2 hours and you can't even account for
It's
what
true.
you've done that
It's true.
time. Yeah. So yeah. So that was basically what I did. I just tried to sleep on time, and then there were days I had other things to do. Times I had to go to church, and so the days I have to go to church, I would know that okay, today I'm going to go to church. So I would try not to do so many other things because I know that okay, this time is going to be not lost per se, I'll be using it for something else. So other times of the day, I'll try to make the most of it. And even in between classes, in between cleaning sessions, there are times that we have free times. And instead of spending it on our phones, just doing WhatsApp or going through Instagram or going through Twitter and all that, we can actually use it wisely. So yeah, that was basically it.
Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate. So, the thing is, in medical school, there is even no. I can relate so much to what she's saying because I know that there is just no time for somebody to like work extra hard to get even one distinction. Is like it's something else. It's something you really, really have to squeeze yourself through to get through. Okay, thank you so much for that. And the next question is, yes. So, what are really the opportunities that come with having multiple distinctions in medical school? Let me just tell you one short story, very very short story. Last 2 days or so, we are going for a word round, and one of the senior lecturers was telling us, "You see, this profession, if you're looking to hit money, there's no money here."
Thank you.
If you want to hit money, there is no money here. So if you are looking for where to like really hit it hard, there is nothing like that here. So what are the motivations that can keep somebody going? Seeing that you invest all your time into saving lives, and it's not as if in Nigeria the reward is that high. You get. So what are like motivations that kept you going, that kept you doing well academically? You did not at some point be like, oh, please let this academic be like part-time job. Let me just go and focus on making money. Something like that. Please, what kept you going? I really want to know what kept you going. Because I was
Okay.
so when he was saying that, not that I was doing it for money, but I felt like, this one senior age is saying this.
Okay. So what kept me going? Okay, well, I wouldn't say that um I had any motivation. Like, yeah, we know that there is no money in medicine. Really, if you're looking for money, you should definitely be doing something else. Yeah. So I don't know. There were times I was tired. Really, there were times I was tired, and it was peculiar to my course of study and the time we were in. So a lot of things can make us tired in medical school. Not the fact that even beyond the fact that you're putting a lot of work for something that may not yield so much reward, but the fact that there are so many other things, there are strikes, there are okay. So for us,
Yeah.
we were the first set. We were the first set, when the pioneer set of dentistry in my school. So we're
Wow.
literally brats at that time. So we had a lot of delays. We ended up spending 9 years in school for a course that
Oh,
was so it was really a long time, and there were a lot of times that we didn't even know if we were going to continue or not. So there was accreditation, there were strikes, and so at a point I was actually tired. At the point I just wanted to be out of school, really. But I think the one thing that kept me going was just the fact that I think it's important for us to realize that whatever you're doing, it is
mhm.
important to do your best. Even if
Yeah.
you may not see the reward as at now, you may not
Mhm.
see it now, but just putting your best, just know that you gave it your all, you gave it your best, and
Mhm.
definitely the rewards will come. The rewards will
Mhm.
come sooner than later. So I think that was just really my motivation. So yeah.
Mhm. Thank
My
you
mother
for that.
also another motivation was my mother. So she kept saying she wants to tie two wrappers on my induction. So yeah, I wanted to make her proud, make my parents proud. So that was also a great motivation for me.
Oh, supporting parents, very important.
And
So, right now, like, what are the opportunities that come with finishing with distinction from medical school or dentistry? Yeah.
okay, so there are a lot of opportunities. But I think beyond just finishing with distinctions, and I know a lot of us put our minds on academic things, especially medical students. Even though right now we are seeing a lot of changes. Medical students are no more just being academic. Those things are important also, but when we look at it, all these scholarships that they give and everything, they no longer only focus on the fact that you had a lot of distinctions and you're good academically. They also want to see what other skills you have, your interpersonal skills, other extracurricular activities. So, but having the fact that a particular you have good grades, a particular number of distinctions already puts you on that pedestal to be able to even apply for this. Like there are some scholarship, I think road scholarship. So you have to
Yeah.
have had distinction to be able to apply as a medical student. I think it's equivalent to a first class. So
Mm.
some of those things already puts you ahead. So even if you're very involved in extracurricular activities and you have so many skills, if you're not if you don't have that distinction or something, you can't even apply. So it puts you at least on that pedestal to be able to
Mm.
even apply for this thing. So I think it's actually a good thing to have. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's true. I know about Rose Scholarship.
Yeah.
The only thing that limits some people from Nigeria, especially federal schools, from apply for that route is the age limit. I think the age limit for medicine is 26, right?
Yeah, I think 25 or 26, something like that. Yeah.
I think 26 for medicine and 25 for other courses. But aside those scholarship, yes, according to what she said, there are many scholarships out there that someone can apply for, like a Commonwealth and some other ones like that. There's also Clareton, yes, that's specific to Oxford. So yes, in this channel we have interviewed some doctors that finished from Nigeria and are on that scholarship abroad. So just to my viewers, in case you need a link to any of these scholarships interviews, you can just check through the channel to get something like that. So I'm happy that you mentioned them. I just remember those scholarships again. Thank you so much. Okay,
Okay.
do you really enjoy studying? If you did enjoy studying, how did you come about that?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Studying. Well, there are days that studying is a burden, and there are days you enjoy it, and there are days you don't have a choice. Really, that's the truth. I think that's the one thing about medical school. Sometimes you just realize you don't have a choice. You just have to pass. Yeah. I know a lot of us say things like school na scam and all those kind of things, but we know as medical students, we know ourselves that even this person who is telling you he has not read, you know that
I've finished reading.
exactly if you listen to this person, you're just giving your own grade. So you just know that you just be reading because your colleagues are reading. Don't listen to them. So for me,
Anybody.
yes. So for me, cultivating the study habit, I think I just knew that I needed to pass. I didn't want to fail. Really, failure is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Even though
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you learn from failure. Yeah, there are times you would fail. There are times you put in your best and what the grades you get is not equivalent to what you've put in and you feel sad, but you learn from it and then you move on. But it is important to know that failure is not a good thing. And whenever you fail, you should learn from it, but you should not stay there and say, oh, let me just keep learning from my failure. You can actually do better. So for me, cultivating a study habit was something I needed to do. And I think
Yeah.
it's important for us as students to always find what works for you. That's the thing. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of have different things that work for them. So don't ever look at somebody and say, oh, this person had four distinctions, and this person said that, oh, I read 12
Mm-hmm.
hours, I used coffee and all that. it may not work for you really, and you may just
Yes.
end up seeing that you're just wearing yourself out and you're still not getting good grades. So I think it's important as you cultivate study habit that you find what works for you. So for me, I prefer to read at night, and I also prefer to read in quiet places. So I also like to use the library a lot. So a lot of people don't like to read in the library, and that's okay. I know
Yeah.
people who read with music, and I respect them because I cannot read. I can't read with music. The only times I read with music are the times I'm just tired and I'm just trying to keep myself awake or something. So
Mhm.
yeah. So just find what works for you. There are people who like to read and write. And so there were times in medical school that I like to do that. I like to read and write, but even though I felt at some point I was just copying back everything. And so I stopped. But I
Yeah.
think I can start again. But really, it's just important to find what works for you. So if you're somebody who needs to
Mhm.
read and reread things and maybe read and close the book and try to memorize it and try to picture it or something. And then there are people who like to who are graphic. So they like to draw things and bring it to life so that you can understand it.
Yes.
Cultivating a reading habit is just really finding what works for you, finding the
Mm-hmm.
time that you're comfortable reading. So if you're somebody who likes to read in the night, that's fine. You're somebody who likes to read in the daytime, that's fine. You also, you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to say, oh, I must go to night class, I must study the whole night. You may not realize that you just be tired the whole day because you wanted to follow somebody to night class, and in the end, you don't end up gaining anything and
Yeah.
all that. Then also when studying, it's important you are not just reading, you're understanding what you are reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of times many of us are giving lecture notes, and sometimes you read your lecture notes and you get the concept, but there are times you may not understand it. So you can use textbook, you can go on. Now we have the internet and have a very wide range of resources. So we don't even have any excuse that, oh, I wasn't taught this, I wasn't taught that. You can actually go on the internet and use it and read it, and instead of using that time to stay on the phone and all that. So yeah, I think it's just important to find what works for you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Were there some things you wish you did when you were in school? Did you engage in extracurriculars or something? Were there just something you wish you engaged in school?
Okay. Did I? Yes, I tried to engage in other things. So I was in fellowship. I was in CMD, Christian Medical and Dental Association.
Yeah. Okay.
So I tried to. Yes, I was active there. I think I served a lot of time. And then our student association also, I was also involved in student association, and I actually tried to enjoy medical school and not be the student who just reads. Because really, if you go to medical school and you just read, you'll come out and you realize that you just spent 6 years of your life just reading and you didn't do any other thing with your time. So I tried as much as possible to be involved in other activities. So if there was health week, I'd be involved. If there was other things, academic week, other things that came up, there were times there were like sports and all that and games, and I would go and I played football. I think I was the captain of the team at one time like that. I went to watch the matches, and I wasn't really a politician really, but I think I was dragged into politics a lot, and I actually did it. Not
Okay.
yes, yeah. So I think there was a time I was even elected chairman for an election.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
and so it's important that you get involved in other extracurricular
Mm.
activities because a lot of times people come out of medical school and they are just in one direction. All you know is medicine. You cannot, address a crowd. You cannot
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
international relationship, things like that. So it's important that you get involved in all these things. Like, I think I actually respect people who do politics in medical
Yeah.
school, because a lot of times they come out and you see that
Yes.
they can relate with almost any kind of people. They can give speeches, they
Yeah.
can very versatile. And so I think one of the things I actually regret, if I'm given the chance to go back, I don't want to go back to medical school, but if I'm given the chance,
Yeah.
I will get involved in politics more. So yeah, I think as students we should also try to do other things, enjoy
Get
medical.
involved. Yeah.
There's a lot of suffering already, so at
Yeah.
least enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. We are basically coming to the end of the interview. I think it just remains one question. If there is any remaining.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done cultivating a habit for studying. Are there some things you wish you did better while in school? We already did that. Do you enjoy reading? We already did that. Were you able to have fun in school? I think it's not how you answered that question already.
Okay. Well, did I have fun in school? I didn't have enough fun. Like I think when I think about it, I should have had more fun in medical school. Yeah, but oh well, I try to have fun, really. I try to have fun.
Okay. Okay, please, what are your final words of advice to those that are watching this video?
Okay. So I would say just keep pushing. Okay,
Okay.
something else I would like to add is cultivate about I think about cultivating a study habit or the
Yeah.
motivation. Yes. Um, I also like to add that you should never allow people make you feel like you're doing too much. I think that's one thing I'd also like to add.
I like that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you so
Oh my
much.
God.
Oh,
So
this is
yeah,
good.
yeah,
This
I
is
like
for
to
me.
give for you. Okay, I like to give an illustration. Don't ever let people make you feel like you're doing too much. If you're going
Exactly.
and you want to be the best and you say, okay, I want to have this number of distinctions, and people always make you feel like you're doing too much. Are you the only person? You're making us look
Oh,
bad, all those kind of things. And so it's important for you to realize that each of us came to medical school differently, and it's important that whatever you're doing, just know you're doing it for yourself. Whatever motivation you have, do it. So I remember during there was a strike we had, and now I think about it, I should have probably learned the skill during that strike. But anyway, that's in the past. But I remember like I was going to the hospital for postings, and I know a lot of time people made it feel like, haba, can't you just rest? Can't you just,
oh,
and a lot of things I learned, a lot of hands-on I got to do was because I was doing that. And so there were times that I felt like, okay, maybe I should just stop doing this. So let's not be that I'm the only person
mhm.
doing too
Yeah.
much. Um, I just told myself that I'm doing this for myself. I want to learn the skills. I want to be better at my profession. And so whatever you're doing, keep at it, keep pushing. You
Mm-hmm.
want best, just keep at it. Don't let anybody make you feel that you are
Mm-hmm.
overdoing. You're not overdoing anything. You're
Thank
learning whatever
you.
skills you have, whatever knowledge you gain will always be yours. So that is
Thank
one
you.
part. And also it's important in medical school to have a support system. Have friends,
Yeah.
have people, have a support system, have friends that you people can always read together. Yeah, I didn't mention study groups. Study groups are important. Yes, study groups very, very important. Really. It's one of another of the study habits that is really, really important, because we always say something when you read something and then you speak about it, it internalizes more. So if you read something and then you come to a group of people and then you talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more you get understanding, the more it is grounded in your head. So study groups are very important in medical school. I mean, you cannot do without them. A lot of times we don't take study groups seriously, but I think it's always towards the exam that we realize that, oh, study groups are very, very important.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of things that you will just see something in exams and you would only remember it because you heard somebody speak about it. You heard somebody in study group just say, oh, this is what this thing is. And that is the one thing that sticks in your head. So study groups are also very, very important. So yeah, so yeah, that's it. But this was any
Okay.
other.
Thank you so much. Especially for that, don't ever allow somebody to make you feel you are overdoing it. I think it's very, very common. It's a major challenge actually.
Yeah.
Thank you. For me, I really got that. All right. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you. God bless you.
Having me. I enjoyed my time here.
We enjoyed you too. We really did. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.